Welcome back to a series of examples in the LangGraph basics. In this example, we are going to discuss about the state. What is the state? Is a global data where every node is going to take one input which is of type state, and every node is also going to return a value which is of type state. In this example, we have three different nodes defined. Let's explore more on the example that we are going to discuss further. Let's implement the code. Imported all the required modules. Initializing the graph. In this case, the state consists of three different variables. N is even, filled by even or odd node. Output is filled by output node. And N is the input is given by the user. So that's a state. Now let's define all three different nodes. Initializer, associated initializer function, is and odd, and output. What are these functions? Let's define. There are three different functions. Initializer state to default. This is the initializer function. Once it receives input from the user, which is this, it is setting other two variables to false and none because it is initializing, and it is going to return the after initialization. So that means global data is maintained by these values. And is even is also set to even or odd node. What is this responsibility? It is going to access the n value. If it is true, if it is even number, this variable is set to true, otherwise false, and returning it. Now global data is maintained with the two different values. N is already given an input, is even filled by the is even node. Then the third function, which is a build output, is going to check the filled value is even. If it is true, it is building a string with the even number. If the value is false, it is building a string odd number. The same value is maintained in the output variable. So three different nodes filling three different values. Let's execute the whole graph now. So I'm invoking the graph data. N is 10, that is an input. I'm invoking with the data, invoking the graph, and it is returning a value. So when it reaches to initializer function, apart from the input, other two values set to false and none. Then it control passes to is even. So here this variable is set by this node based on the input. And third, based on the both two values, it is building a string even number or odd number and then storing the output into output. And then finally the output is printed. The response data output. Both I'm printing. Let's see the execution part. Let's see the output. That's all. So N is given as an input 10, is even filled by the is even odd node, and output filled by the output node. So finally output is even odd. Thank you.